Well, good morning, everybody. Yes, good morning here in Wichita. Welcome into NBC World Series coverage. It is day number 2 of the NBC, but this is a game that was scheduled to be played yesterday in the first day of action pool play between the Northwest Boom of Arizona and the Mud Daubers of Valley Center, Kansas. Steve Strain with you on a Sunday morning as these two teams were scheduled to play at 9:30 last night. Then because of the previous 3 games, it ended up getting pushed back about an hour, but when the two teams took the field right before play was supposed to begin at about 10:30, the rains came. Actually, it was lightning and thunder that put things to a halt. The home plate umpire saw a flash of lightning very close by, and that was a smart thing because not only did we have lightning in the area, but a downpour started not after that. So this game was pushed back to 10:30 this morning. Valley Center in the top of the first inning, scoreless against the Northwest Boom. We apologize. We've had some technical issues, but we're on and ready to go now. We're in the top of the first inning. Valley Center has gone 2 up and 2 down here in the first inning. And the first pitch here to Nick Gonzalez is fouled back to the screen. So Gonzalez is up there for the Valley Center Mud Daubers as these two teams scheduled to play last night going at it here this afternoon. And a pitch is low, so it is now 2 balls and a strike to Nick Gonzalez. Daniel Diaz led off for Valley Center and grounded out to third. Luis Valenzuela struck out. This is Gonzalez who swings and misses, and the count to him is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is opening round play, pool play, where teams play everybody in their pools throughout the week, as this one is driven to left field. Back goes the left fielder, Brandon Bania, and he's got a beat on it, makes the catch, side retired. So Valley Center is retired in order. We'll update you on the format and exactly what to expect in pool play when we come back. But a 1-2-3 for Valley Center after half an inning. Mud Daubers nothing, and Northwest Arizona coming up.
For 6 generations, this land has provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Welcome back to Lawrence Dumont Stadium, ready for the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Northwest Arizona getting their first crack here this afternoon as Alex Defoe is the pitcher for Valley Center that they'll look at. Buddy Johnson will lead off for Northwest Arizona. He's in center field. He'll be followed by Brandon Bania, the left fielder. Zach Baxley starts at short, and then Clayton Hale after that. Carson Arnsberry bats 5th, and he's the designated hitter. Logan Brown hitting 6th. He is at third base. Trent Smith bats 7th, the first baseman. Tanner Holen bats 8th. He's behind the plate. Braden Eckhout bats 9th, and he's at second base. That is the Valley Center starting lineup with Alex Defoe out on the hit. It'll be Daniel Diaz that'll lead off for Northwest Arizona to get his starter. So here we go. It's Buddy Johnson that'll lead off. And the center fielder is ready. And the pitch to Johnson. And there's a hot shot just inside the bag. That's fair. That's headed down to the corner. Johnson rounding first. He's on his way to second, and he'll get there with a leadoff stand-up double. Well, that's a heck of a way to start for Valley Center as Johnson sends one just inside the bag. And he ends up at second base with a leadoff double. So that'll bring up Brandon Bania now, who is the left fielder. We started at 81 degrees, by the way, at 10:26 Central Time. So almost exactly 12 hours after we thought we were going to start at around 10:30 last night before the weather hit Lawrence Dumont. Runner at second, the pitch is a breaking ball to Brandon Bania. And it's low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. First appearance in the NBC World Series for both of these teams. Northwest Arizona and Valley Center. Valley Center out of the Kansas League of Intercollegiate Baseball. And he sends this one foul out of play right side. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nate Landry is the coach of Valley Center, and he is down at third base. Luis Valenzuela handles the head coaching duties for Northwest Arizona. Northwest Arizona that does not have a lot of depth. They do not have many bench players at all. 1 ball and 1 strike, runner at second base, and now Bania was pointing out at center field for some reason. There goes the runner to third. Here comes the throw, the slide, the tag, and Johnson is safe at third base. So Buddy Johnson gets his stolen base. So the count's 2 balls and a strike. Great start by Johnson. He got a great break on that one, and behind the plate, Jesus Baracamonte's throw just a little bit late. So 2 balls and a strike now, the count, as through the stretch. Cesar Dominguez, and he sends one home, and this one is ripped back up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Here comes Johnson to score. It's an RBI single for Brandon Bania, and Valley Center has jumped on top just like that. It's 1-0. So 2 hard-hit base hits, 1 a double right down the left field line, and then this one right back up the middle. 2 up, 2 base hits, runner at first, 1-0. Valley Center's got the lead, and here's shortstop now, Zach Baxley. As Dominguez will throw over to first, and back diving in is Bania. Three games yesterday. The Austin Shockers knocked off Sterling Express 9-3 in the first game, as there's another base hit. This one through on the left side. Down to second base goes Bania, and it'll be a single for Zach Baxley. So a double, single, single. Nobody retired yet by Northwest Arizona here in the bottom of the first inning. A run already in. It's 1-0 Valley Center, and the Mud Daubers off to a great start. So Austin knocks off Sterling. That was from Pool A. And this game is also from Pool A. Valley Center and Northwest Arizona. The 316 Elite, that's a team of kids going to college this coming season. They have not started yet, and they knocked off the Round Rock Express. That from Pool C. It was 5-0 Round Rock to start the game, 2 innings in, and then the 316 Elite shut them out after that and scored 12 unanswered runs. So 316 Elite knocked off the Round Rock Express 12-5, that from Pool C. 1 ball and no strikes. The batter now is Clayton Hale. Left-handed batter takes a strike, and that'll even things up now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Also last night, Mulvane knocked off Fort Collins 6-5. Mulvane, a brand new team this season. Fort Collins makes an appearance in the NBC World Series. That also from Pool C. That was an interesting game as Mulvane jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Fort Collins tied it 5-5 in the middle innings, and then it was that way until the top of the ninth when Mulvane scratched across a single run. They won 6-5. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. There's a breaking ball that catches the outer edge, and that's a strike 1-2. Marcus Catalano is the first baseman for Northwest Arizona. Luis Valenzuela's at second. Manny Ramirez at short. Daniel Diaz at third. The outfield from left to right. Robert Valenzuela, Nick Gonzalez, and Gilbert Valenzuela, with Barakamontes behind the plate and Cesar Dominguez, the right-handed pitcher. So Clayton Hale, left-handed batter, back in again. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Bottom of the first inning, one already in for Valley Center. They lead by the score of 1-0. As Dominguez now gets distracted by the runner out at second, Beanie, and he steps off the hill. So there will be the full slate of 4 games after this one here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium today, and we'll have them all right here for you on the NBC World Series YouTube channel. Pitch outside for a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. At 1:30, the West Chase Express takes on Jasper from Jasper, Indiana. They are the Reds. At 4 o'clock, the Dallas Dirtbags versus Great Bend of Kansas. 7 o'clock is the feature game, Cheney, Kansas against Fresno's A's. And at 9:30, Hattiesburg, Mississippi versus the Inland Empire, California Golden Bears. Pitch fouled at the plate, and the count is 2-2. Those are all Central Times, 1:34, 7 and 9:30 tentatively throughout the rest of the day. So pool play throughout the week, and then the finals of the pool play will be next weekend, and there will be 2 teams out of pool play that will advance to next week's championship week. There's a hot shot out to short, and they could get 2. Throw to third for 1. They get the lead runner, but that'll be it. Manny Ramirez out at short had to wait on that one a little bit. It was a soft little floating line drive, and by the time he got it on a hop, the only play he had was the smart one, and that was to get the lead runner, Brandon Benia, at third base. So Baxley to second. Hale reaches on the fielder's choice. Runners at first and second, 1 away, and here's Carson Arnsberry, the designated hitter. The 7 o'clock game each night during the NBC World Series is the feature game, and that's carried through a local radio station, KQA, and we still have video up, but it'll be their audio that you'll hear as a swing and a miss to Carson Arnsberry, the designated hitter. No balls and a strike. So Valley Center's Mud Daubers up there in the bottom of the first already with 1 in. They're wearing some bright neon yellow jerseys with white pants and dark batting helmets. And the Northwest Arizona's Boom is in gray jerseys, gray pants, trimmed with green. 0-1, the count to Arnsberry, and now time is called. So a good start for Valley Center. They had 3 consecutive base hits in a row, and as a result of that, Northwest Arizona already has action down in their bullpen. So Cesar Dominguez's struggles early have helped his team get action in the bullpen as the pitch taken, it's a strike. 0-2, the count now at the plate to Carson Arnsberry. Arnsberry is from Lincoln Land Community College. Had a nice .273 season this past year, his freshman year. 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. Pitch taken outside for a ball. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yesterday temperatures got well up above 100. It was at 106 when the time and temperature scoreboard out in left field went on the blink, and I was told it was because it overheated. There's strike 3 called. Arnsberry caught looking on a good off-speed pitch, and down he goes. So 2 outs now for Logan Brown. So Brown steps in now after 3 straight reached. Cesar Dominguez has restored order somewhat. He's gotten 2 outs and 2 batters in a row. Fielder's choice in his strikeout. Now he'll deal with Logan Brown and try to escape. And if he does, with only 1 run allowed, that would have been a pretty good job after the way this inning started. First pitch to Brown is a ball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Dominguez 2 looks back at second, where Zach Baxley delivers home. Bouncing ball over to second, fielded by Luis Valenzuela. A throw to first in time and a 4-3 putout. So a run scores on 3 consecutive hits for Valley Center, but it could have been much worse. They leave 2, and after 1, it's Valley Center 1, Northwest Arizona nothing. Ready now for the top of the second inning, and already 1 strike on Manny Ramirez, who leads off for Northwest Arizona. Then he cue sticks up the first baseline, and he's retired 3 unassisted, as there is a clock that batters have to get up to the plate and get going, and Manny Ramirez was a little bit late, so he had a strike on him because he didn't beat the clock before a pitch was even thrown. But Weekly grounded out to first anyway, so 1 up, 1 down for Northwest Arizona. Here's Jesus Barracamontes, the catcher for Northwest Arizona, taking a strike, 0-1. So 1-0 our score. Valley Center with the lead. Top of the second inning. And an off-speed pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Alex Defoe pitching for Valley Center. He's from Friends University, which is right here in Wichita. There's one lined up the middle. That'll be a base hit. So Barracamontes with 1 out, a single to center, and a runner at first for Northwest Arizona. So that'll bring up Robert Valenzuela. First pitch to Valenzuela, swung on and fouled, backing out of play, 0-1. I mentioned that Northwest Arizona does not have a lot of players. They've got 17 listed on their roster, and that is it. Swing and a miss, and Defoe quickly ahead of Valenzuela. No balls and 2 strikes. Of course, most of those 17 are position players. More than any other. 8 of their 17 position pitchers, I should say, and then everybody else position players. So 8 pitchers and 9 position players, all that's on their roster, as one is chopped over toward the third base dugout by Valenzuela. No balls and 2 strikes. Valley Center in the third base dugout. Northwest Arizona over at first. This one is driven to left field, but playable for Brandon Bania. Backs up a few steps and makes the catch 2 away. Trent Smith at first base for Valley Center. Braden Eckhout is at second. Zach Baxley at short. Logan Brown is at third. The outfield from left to right. Bania, Buddy Johnson, and Clayton Hale. Tanner Holland is behind the plate, and the pitcher, again, is Alex Defoe. Javi Alvarez was scheduled to start for Valley Center, but that was last night, and then after last night was no more, the Mud Daubers go with Defoe today. The first pitch to Marcus Catalano is a ball, 1-0. He barely gets a piece of this one, tips it into the glove. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Catalano. Catalano's from Tucson. Left-handed batter, first baseman for Northwest Arizona, swings at a breaking ball and comes up empty. And the count's 1-2. Valley Center leading by the score of 1-0. Top of the second inning. Defoe delivers off speed and low. Nice stop behind the plate by Holen. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Barack Amani's the runner at first, 2 away, top of the second inning, and a 1-0 lead for Valley Center. Pitch outside for a ball. And that'll even things out now, it's now 3-2. The count's run full at 3-2. Gilbert Valenzuela, the right fielder for Northwest Arizona, waits on deck. And here comes a pitch, lined into the gap, left center field. That's down. That'll be a base hit. Runner Barack Amanis rounding second. He's going to head to third, and he's going to get there. And down to second base goes Catalano. So runners at second and third now after Catalano sends one to the gap in left center field. So Northwest Arizona now trying to mount a little 2-out rally here, and Catalano's at second. And Barack Amanis is down at third. Here's Gilbert Valenzuela, the right fielder. So Defoe will stretch with 2 on, 2 away, and a swing and a miss. A big swing and a miss for Valenzuela. And the count is 0-1. So runners get their lead. Barack Amanis at third. Over at second, Marcus Catalano. 2 hits here in the inning for Northwest Arizona after they were retired in order in the first. Pitch low and away. Nice stop by Holen behind the plate. 1-1. Really a nice time for baseball with the temperature in the low 80s just before 11 o'clock Central Time. Pitch is down low for a ball. It was well over 100 yesterday. We expect it to get up around there later today, so 83 is not at all bad. 2 balls and a strike. Here comes a pitch. Swung on and missed. A good fastball that time by Defoe as he worked the outside edge and got a swing and a miss. So the count's now 2-2. Runners at second and third. 2 away. The 2-2 lifted. Right side foul. And the count is still 2-2. I say the temperature is expected to get up around 100. They will get into the 90s, at least according to the forecast. Maybe not pushing what we had yesterday, but low to mid 90s to be expected. So maybe about 10, 12 degrees warmer than what we are right now at 83. That one comes in tight, and it hit him. So Valenzuela gets hit on the left arm, and he'll head down to first base. And the bases are now loaded for Valley Center. Well, this is the place if you're Valley Center, you want him loaded with the number 9 hitter up. No disrespect to Paulo Rodriguez. I'm sure an accomplished baseball player, but 1 through 9, that's where you want it to be. But we'll see if Northwest Arizona can make Defoe pay. First pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. It was an easy 1-2-3 for Defoe in the first inning. He got a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. And the inning started off easy here. He got that weak ground ball by Manny Ramirez, but it's been a struggle ever since. This one swung on, fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jesus Barracamontes picked up a single with 1 out. He's now advanced to third. 2 batters later, Marcus Catalano doubled, and then Valenzuela, the hit batsman. So they are loaded with Northwest Boom. 2 away. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Valley Center. There's a swing. Snap throw to first, and back diving in is Valenzuela. As that play was pretty close. Nice throw by Holen. Strong throw and accurate as well, just a little bit late. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count to Paulo Rodriguez. We'll go back to the top of the order next with Daniel Diaz, who waits on deck. Runners get their leads, and the pitch chopped at the plate foul. That's over toward Luis Valenzuela, the coach for Northwest Arizona. So the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Through the stretch goes Defoe, and he'll deliver. Swing and a miss, strike three, and the side retired. Big strikeout there as Defoe gets the K, and Northwest Arizona leaves them loaded after they picked up a couple of hits and hit batsmen in the inning. After 1.5, Valley Center 1, Northwest Arizona nothing. Trent Smith to lead off the bottom of the second inning for Valley Center, and it's actually Valley Center that's going to step up with a 1-ball, no strike count because it's Northwest Arizona that was not ready to go when the clock expired. Again, a clock between innings, and Northwest Arizona now, both on the offensive side and now defensively, have not been ready to go in time. So it's 1 ball and no strikes as Smith walks up to the plate, and he just took another ball. It's 2-0. So Northwest Arizona, and it's happened in each case between innings, not ready to go. There's a strike to Smith. It's now 2 balls and a strike. Pitcher has to be ready to go when that clock expires between innings, and he wasn't. So it's automatically a ball. The batter's got to be ready to go as well, though, and they weren't the last half inning, so their leadoff batter stepped up with a count, no balls and a strike. Trent Smith sends one out to short, fielded by Manny Ramirez. He'll field easily and throw to first for a 6-3 putout, 1 away. So that'll bring up Taylor Holen now, the catcher. And he sends another one out to short. Another chance for Ramirez, another 6-3 putout. So very quick work here by Cesar Dominguez in the bottom of the second inning with Valley Center leading by the score of 1-0. And that'll bring up Braden Eckhout. Eckhout, the second baseman for Valley Center. Cesar Dominguez ready and delivers a strike, 0-1. So it's kind of been a tale of 2 innings for both of these two teams as Cesar Dominguez threw a lot of pitches in the first inning, gave up a run on a few hits, but here in the second, he's thrown nothing but strikes, and he's on the verge of getting out very quickly. On the other side, Northwest Arizona retired in order in the first, and they got a couple of base hits and left 3 in the second. The 0-2 bouncer out to second, and there's Valenzuela. Luis Valenzuela throws to first, and a very easy 1-2-3 for Cesar Dominguez in the second. To the third, 1-0, Valley Center.
For every celebration, for every 6 a.m. wake-up call, for every heartache, for every homecoming, for every home, there is York. Environmentally responsible and technologically advanced to provide the optimal home environment while keeping you connected. Life by You, comfort by York.
Ready for the third inning now, as it'll be Daniel Diaz that'll lead off for Northwest Arizona, and he's running up to the plate now. He wants to make sure he's ready to go between innings. In the top of the second inning, Northwest Arizona's leadoff batter, Manny Ramirez, had a no-ball, one-strike count on him when he stepped up to the plate because he took too long to step up. So they've learned their lesson, and here's Diaz against Alex Defoe, and Defoe delivers a strike, 0-1. 1-0 Valley Center with the lead. Top of the third inning from Lawrence Dumont Stadium in Wichita. And Defoe delivers, and this is a fastball swung on, bouncing ball deep in the hole at short. Baxley is there, can't come up with it though, and it's out into left field. That'll be a leadoff base hit for Diaz. Well, that was going to be a tough play for Baxley anyway. Deep in the hole, back to his right, and he slid to a knee, but could not come up with it cleanly and make a throw. That's a base hit all the way though, so the leadoff batter aboard for the first time today for Northwest Arizona. An ominous start for Northwest Arizona as the first three batters of the game reached on hard-hit base hits for Valley Center, but they only scored one run and then retired the side in order the next inning. Now their hitting is starting to come along. A strike to Luis Valenzuela, 0-1. Defoe will stretch, and this one is bunted out toward the mound. They're going to try to get the force at second, and they do, and then a throw back to first, not in time. But a nice play by Defoe, fielding his position out in front of the mound. And the put out at second goes 1-6 for the first out of the inning. Well, that's one of the things about this AstroTurf field. It is all turf, in case you haven't noticed, except for the pitcher's mound. Everything else is turf, including that brown that you see between the bases. That is not dirt. That is artificial surface. First pitch to Nick Gonzalez is a ball, 1-0. So on those bunts, you particularly have to use a lot of touch because the ball can get down on the ground in a hurry and back to the pitcher. And that's exactly what happened and why Defoe had time to throw to second base on the force. Pitch swung on, fouled back and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Nick Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 0 for 1. He ended the first inning by flying out to left field. Defoe through the stretch, and a breaking ball misses high. And the count is now 2 balls and a strike. Runner at first, 1 away. Top of the third inning, Valley Center over Northwest Arizona, 1-0. And the pitch is high and away for a ball. And the count is now 3-1 to Gonzalez. Alex Defoe is, interestingly enough, from Arizona. He's from Lake Havasu, Arizona. As this one fouled back to the screen. But attending Friends University, as mentioned earlier, which is right here in Wichita. So the count's now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. We'll see what Luis Valenzuela is doing at first, not going anywhere. Pitch swung on, lifted. This one is down to the gap, right center field, and it's going to bounce all the way to the fence. Valenzuela rounding third. He's being waved home. Gonzalez rounding second, and he's heading to third. He'll slide in safely with an RBI triple, and we are tied at 1. Boy, he found a great place for that one. Dissecting Hale and Ride and Johnson in center field. That one bounced to the fence, and an easy triple for Gonzalez, and we start all over at 1 apiece with Gonzalez down at third base, and here's Manny Ramirez now. And the pitch to Ramirez is an off-speed pitch up high for a ball. That's the 4th hit of the game for Northwest Arizona, 3 for Valley Center. What's interesting is all 3 Valley Center hits came with the first 3 batters of the bottom of the first inning. This one lifted high, foul. Moving over to his right is Bina. He's going to run out of room. So the very first 3 batters got base hits for Valley Center, and just like that, they had a run in 3 hits, but they've been hitless since, and it's Northwest Arizona that has started to come alive now, and they've picked up 4 hits and a run themselves, and we are tied at 1. Defoe through the stretch, and this one fouled over on the right side and out of play. And the count is 1-2. Manny Ramirez from Bisbee, Arizona. Only one player on this team is not from the state of Arizona. There's a ground ball up the middle. That'll be a base hit. And another run will score. Gonzalez from third on an RBI single for Ramirez. And it's now 2-1. Northwest Arizona's taken the lead. And that's the 5th base hit of the game for Northwest Arizona. 3 in this inning and 2 in the second. And now Jesus Bracamontes will step in with a runner at first. And the runner bluffs. First pitch to Bracamontes outside for a ball, 1-0. Ethan Davis is a pitcher for Northwest Arizona from Montana. He is the only player on their 18-man roster, 17-man roster, I should say, that is not from Arizona. Runner goes, pitches outside, the throw to second, and plenty of time. And caught stealing. Manny Ramirez, 2-4 out at second base. Boy, that was a great throw that time by Tanner Holen up behind the plate. On the mark and in plenty of time, and Ramirez gone 2-4 for the second out of the inning. So Bracamontes now with the count 2-0, swings and sends one left field. Bina going over to his left, and he'll call it and track it down and make the catch. But 2 score on 3 base hits, including an RBI triple for Northwest Arizona in the inning. And after 2.5, Northwest Arizona 2, Valley Center 1.
NBC baseball fans, make some noise if you wish you were mowing your lawn right now.
Just kidding. What if you could mow your lawn right from your stadium seat? Seriously, get out your phone, go to the App Store, and download the Lawn Buddy app. The first 100 people to book service with Lawn Buddy will be entered to win free lawn care for the rest of 2017. Lawn Buddy. Push button, get lawn care.
Buddy Johnson to start the bottom of the 3rd inning for Valley Center. He started the game off with a double right down the left field line. Takes the first pitch from Dominguez for a ball, 1-0. And Johnson takes his strike here, and it's now 1-1. It was a hot shot ground ball just inside the bag at third and down to the corner at Wynn, and Valley Center had a runner at second right away in the bottom of the 1st. Johnson takes in tight here, and the count's now 2 balls and a strike. Brandon Bania and Zach Baxley followed with singles. Bania got the RBI scoring Johnson, and you thought right away that Valley Center might jump on Northwest Arizona big, but they've been held in check since. There's a swing and a miss by Johnson, and it's now 2-2. In that inning alone, Valley Center stranded 2. Then they went in order in the second, so they've quieted down quickly. Pitch is low, and the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So it's the top of the Valley Center order. Buddy Johnson, Brandon Bania, and Zach Baxley, 1, 2, and 3. Dominguez delivers off speed, swung on and missed, and down goes Johnson. That's the 2nd strikeout of the game for Cesar Dominguez, and there's one away. So while Cesar Dominguez wasn't fooling anybody for the first 3 batters, he really has ever since. And that's 6 in a row retired. Now Brandon Bania steps in as Dominguez ready and delivers, and a pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Bania had one of those back-to-back singles for Valley Center in the 1st inning. Left fielder from Omaha, Nebraska sends one out of play. And the count is 1-1 Benia played at Iowa Western Community College this past season and had some really nice numbers, especially in the batting average and runs batted in department. As he sends one foul, it's 1-2. He hit .311 this past season with 25 runs batted in. Also had 2 homers on the season. He's a big guy, 6'2", 210 pounds, starting in left field today for Valley Center. And he swings at this one and chops it over toward third, charging in Daniel Diaz. And he'll throw high, and there's a collision at first base. And the ball gets away, and Benia's heading down to second, and he's going to get there, and hopefully everybody's okay. That was a big-time collision. Catalano, the first baseman, leaped in the air to try to catch that high throw, and Benia bowled right into him, and the ball went down to second. And now time is called. They want to make sure everybody's okay, and it looks like they are, but those are 2 big guys. You've got a big 6'2" left fielder running down the line, and then over at first base, Marcus Catalano goes 5'10", but 200 pounds as well. And so right there you've got, 410 pounds of humans running into each other. One of them leaping and landing, the other one running into him, and down to second base goes Benia. So that'll be an error on the third baseman Diaz on what was really a fairly routine play. He didn't need to rush the throw. It just sailed on him, and Benia down at second base. So here's Zach Baxley now. Right-handed hitter who singled back in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. Runner at second, and the pitch to Baxley swung on and lifted back and out of play. And no balls and a strike to Baxley. Baxley was stranded at second base when the bottom of the first came to an end. Baxley was not scheduled to start at shortstop when this game's lineup was originally produced last night. Takes a strike there, and the count is quickly 0-2. But with last night's game being put on hold until this morning, he is now the starting shortstop for Valley Center. And he's a local guy. He's from Wichita, so he's very familiar with the surroundings here. No balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball up the middle. That'll be through. That'll be a base hit. Benia being waved around. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's late. A head-first slide, an RBI for Baxley, and Valley Center has tied it up. It's 2-2. So Baxley getting to play here at home takes advantage of that as he sends one up the middle and through for an RBI base hit, and Luis Valenzuela is out of the Northwest Arizona dugout to come talk to his pitcher at infield. So Baxley, a nice start for him. He's the only Valley Center mud dauber with 2 base hits. He's 2 for 2. He just gave Valley Center their 4th hit of the game, and he's on over at first base, and Clayton Hale will step in now.
Right fielder number 4, Clayton Hale. Your cleanup hitter is brought to you by OxyFresh Carpet Cleaning, the world's greenest carpet cleaner. Call 636-2345 or schedule online at oxyfresh.com.
So Hale steps in. He's 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice back in the first inning. He was stranded at first when the first inning came to an end. Again, it could have been much worse for Northwest Arizona in that first inning when they gave up a run on 3 hits, as Hale takes a strike, 0-1. They were 3 hard hits, and Valley Center left 2 on when the inning came to a close. So Cesar Dominguez regained his composure rather quickly, and it carried on into the second inning. But trouble here. No help from the defense on the throwing error over to first. Throw to first, and they got the pickoff. As Baxley was leaning too far off the bag, and a good move and a good throw, and Baxley got there late. And he's picked off 1-3 for the second out of the inning. That's a long and frustrating trot back to the dugout when that happens, and Baxley is back there now. So, no balls in his strike to Clayton Hale, but now 2 away, nobody on. And the pitch to Hale is high and away for a ball. And the count is 1-1. Dominguez ready and delivers, and this one low. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Ken Fulton is calling balls and strikes behind the plate, by the way. Mark Guzman is at first, and Todd Siglet is over at third. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch chopped foul at the plate, and that one may have gone off the ankle of Hale. He's going to hop that one off, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clayton Hale from Shawnee, Kansas, and also playing collegiately in Kansas at Allen Community College, which is in Iola, Kansas. Freshman season, he hit .218 with a couple homers, 7 runs batted in. Takes low and in for a ball. 5'10", 195-pounder, and the count is full to him now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So nobody on, 2 outs, bottom of the third inning, 2-2 our score. Single runs in the first and the third for Valley Center, a 2-run third for Northwest Arizona. Dominguez is ready and delivers, and a swing and a miss. They'll have to tag him out, and they do on the strikeout for Dominguez, his third of the game. The side retired. So an error and a base hit leads to a run, and after 3, we start all over. Valley Center 2 and Northwest Arizona 2.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your cleats.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your cleats.
If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it.
Back! Let's finish strong!
If you're happy and you know it, clap your cleats.
Or the Hartman Arena box office. Learn more at hartmanarena.com. That's Kansas, October the 21st at Hartman Arena. Nominee, the left fielder number 2, Robert Valenzuela.
Robert Valenzuela to start the 4th inning for Valley Center, and the first pitch is up high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. We start over, tied at 2. 2 runs, 5 hits for Northwest Arizona. 2 runs, 4 hits for Valley Center. Alex Defoe delivers to Valenzuela, and a swing and a miss for a strike, and it's now 1-1. Valenzuela, Marcus Catalano, and Gilbert Valenzuela, 6, 7, and 8 for Northwest Arizona in a 2-2 tie, and this one is a broken bat. Fly ball, shallow left. Benia coming on, and he'll slide feet first and make the catch. 1 away. Well, Benia was kind of casually jogging in on that one. I don't think he initially got a read for how shallow that one is. Then he turned on the afterburners late and got there in time, sliding for the first out of the inning. Now Marcus Catalano. And Catalano sends one to left, slicing to Benia. He'll move to his left, and 2 very quick outs, both to left, here in the top of the 4th inning for Northwest Arizona. And now Gilbert Valenzuela. This is shades of the first inning for Alex Defoe when he retired the side in order. But then in the 2nd and 3rd innings combined, he gave up 2 runs and 5 hits. First pitch to Valenzuela, in there for a strike, 0-1. Valenzuela was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. And here's a pitch, swung on, bouncing ball, and it's gloved by Defoe, but he deflects it over to third, and there'll be no throw to first. Well, it looked like at first Defoe had a delayed reaction or was just going to let it go by him, one or the other, but then he decided to stab at it and just deflected it over toward third, and that'll be an infield base hit for Gilbert Valenzuela. So Paulo Rodriguez will step in now. So a base hit number 6 of the game for Northwest Arizona as Rodriguez steps in. And the pitch to Rodriguez, lifted, foul, out of play. 0-1. Temperature already climbing
Wichita's Vinyl Graphics
Up to
specialist.
87 degrees now. So we were in the low 80s just a little bit ago, and it's already gotten up to 87. And again, we'll get to the high to the low to mid 90s according to the forecast before the day's over. Line drive, left field, base hit, and Rodriguez is on over at first base. So in just a matter of a few pitches, Alex Defoe had 2 up, 2 down. But since then, a couple of base hits, one to the infield, one to left field, and we'll go back to the top of the order now with Daniel Diaz. Diaz 1 for 2. He singled in the third inning and grounded out to start the game. So Defoe works from the stretch, runners at first and second, 2 outs, top of the fourth inning, in a 2-2 tie. And he'll deliver a pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. West Chase, Texas, and Jasper, Indiana will play next. Game scheduled start time is 1:30. The Express of West Chase, Texas, and the Reds of Jasper, Indiana. Pitch swung on, fly to right. Clayton Hale in and to his right, and he'll track it down for the third out of the inning. So a couple of 2-out singles, but that's it for Northwest Arizona. And after 3.5, a 2-2 tie.
Good afternoon, baseball fans. I'm meteorologist Katie Western here in the KSN Storm Tracker 3 Weather Center. Well, yesterday we topped off at a scorching 107 degrees in Wichita. If you were out yesterday, you definitely felt it. We tied our record high temperature, but thankfully a front has passed through. So we will be much cooler today, though it still will be a little hot. High temperature of 94 degrees with humid conditions, making it feel a little bit hotter. We'll keep some scattered clouds around down to the 80s later this evening. And then by the time you're headed home after games tonight, we should be dropping down into the 70s. I can't rule out a lingering shower or thunderstorm at some point today, but for the most part, looks like that will miss us off to the south. So just enjoy the cooler weather for your baseball games on this Sunday.
Carson Arnsberry to start the bottom of the fourth inning for Valley Center, and the first pitch is taken from Cesar Dominguez. 1 ball and no strikes. A 2-2 tie, home half of the fourth inning. Arnsberry up there 0 for 1, caught looking back in the first inning. And Cesar Dominguez delivers low, and the count is now 2-0. Arnsberry, then Logan Brown, Trent Smith, 5, 6, and 7 for Valley Center in a 2-2 tie. Cesar Dominguez doing a little house cleaning in front of the rubber. Now he smooths out a path for his footing, and he's ready, and the right hand delivers the 2-0 pitch. And that's a good one. Fastball taken for a strike on the inner edge. It's now 2 balls and strike. Dominguez to Arnsberry, the 2-1, lifted right side. This one might be playable. Coming over is Valenzuela, the right fielder, into foul ground, and he'll slide and can't come up with it. That was a tough play as that one was slicing toward the fence, and Valenzuela came over, and as a result of the fence getting closer and closer, had to slide feet first and couldn't come up with the catch, and Arnsberry stays alive. So the count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mentioned Arnsberry earlier, went to Lincoln Land Community College, where he hit .273 this past season as a freshman. He's got some high aspirations in the game of baseball as he swings, and he's going to have to head back to the dugout now. But Carson Arnsberry would like to own his own baseball facility someday. I like it. So he wants to be a businessman but stay in the game of baseball. Right now, he's going back to the dugout frustrated, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Here's Logan Brown now, the third baseman. 0 for 1, grounded out to second. He's showing bunt here, and pulls back and takes a strike, 0-1. 2-2 our score. Bottom of the fourth, the pitch to Brown as Dominguez works the outside edge but misses that time, and the count's now even at 1-1 strike. Brown from Southern Indiana. He's played there a couple of seasons. 1-1, and he sends this one foul over toward his coach at third, Nate Landry, who can't field it cleanly, and his teammates, his players, giving him a hard time about that. 1-2 strikes. Left-handed batter as Dominguez ready and delivers high and away for a ball that'll even things up at 2-2. Logan Brown this past season at Southern Indiana hit .283 with a homer and 24 runs batted in. In 2016, he hit .313 with no homers and 8 runs batted in far fewer games. But a good start to his career there. Not a good at bat here. He swings and misses at an off-speed pitch, and down he goes. Fourth strikeout of the game for Cesar Dominguez, who really has settled in now. And that'll bring up Trent Smith. 3 of his 4 strikeouts are swinging. The very first one was a looking to Carson Arnsberry, but since then, 3 strikeouts swinging as Trent Smith takes a strike here. 0-1. Smith led off the second inning by grounding out to short. He is 0 for 1. Dominguez ready and delivers, and he barely got a piece of it and sent it back to the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes. Valley Center does have activity down in the bullpen, so Alex Defoe, who started off very well in the first inning, shaky at times since, and the Mud Daubers have some activity down in their bullpen. Pitch swung on, ground ball out to short, fielded by Ramirez. He'll throw to first for another 1-2-3 for Cesar Dominguez. Second time in the last 3 innings he's done that. So we go to the 5th, a 2-2 tie.
NBC baseball fans, make some noise if you wish you were mowing your lawn right now.
Just kidding. What if you could mow your lawn right from your stadium seat? Seriously, get out your phone, go to the App Store, and download the Lawn Buddy app. The first 100 people to book service with Lawn Buddy will be entered to win free lawn care for the rest of 2017. Lawn Buddy. Push button, get lawn care.
Ready for the 5th inning, and indeed a new pitcher is out for Valley Center, and it's left-hander Sam Grant. So Sam Grant, the new pitcher for Valley Center. He's from Rose Hill, Kansas, and also pitching collegiately in the state of Kansas at Independence Community College, and Grant will look at Northwest Arizona here in the top of the 5th inning with a 2-2 tie. So Valley Center, who picked up a run right out of the gate in the bottom of the first inning, got another in the bottom of the third, but that bottom of the third run came after Northwest Arizona got their hitters going, and they scored 2 in the top of the third inning. Now we'll see how they fare against the lefty in Sam Grant. And the first batter he'll face will be Luis Valenzuela, who is a lefty as well. So it'll be a lefty versus lefty to get us started here in the top of the 5th inning. Sam Grant, 6 feet, 190 pounds. Or at least that's what it says on the Independence website, as the first pitch to Valenzuela is a strike. But if you look at the Valley Center roster, they've got him 20 pounds heavier at 210. So I guess you can look at him and decide for yourself. There's a breaking ball for a strike, and the count is now quickly 0-2. So they're getting what they wanted from Grant, come out and throw strikes. Grant ready in the 0-2, off speed and low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He appeared in 15 games, did Grant, this past season at Independence. He had a win and 6 losses, 6.62 his earned run average. You can't tell that, though, to Luis Valenzuela, who just swung and missed for the first out of the inning, one away. So that'll bring up Nick Gonzalez now, the center fielder. 53 innings pitched for Sam Grant this past season at Independence. And he struck out 33 hitters in 53 innings with a 1-6 record. He only started one game, though, so he was primarily used as a reliever, as he is here today. 1 ball and no strikes to Nick Gonzalez, who takes one on the outer edge for his strike, and that'll even the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-2 our score, top of the 5th inning. In a game that is barely an hour old, we are moving right along. And the pitch in there for a strike. It's now going to be 1-2. This game would have started an hour late had it started last night because of previous games and their length, but this one scooting right along. There's a little nubber back toward the mound, and Grant will come off an underhand toss to first, and a 1-3 put out, 2 away. So far so good for Grant, 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up shortstop Manny Ramirez. Ramirez 1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd inning, and when he did so, picked up a run batted in. He grounded out to first back in the 2nd inning. Grant to Ramirez, and Ramirez lines one. That's going to get down. That'll be into right center field. That'll be a base hit. So Ramirez on with a 2-out single. He's over at first. And now Jesus Bracamontes. 8th hit of the game for Northwest Arizona. And it's Manny Ramirez with his 2nd of the game. And now Jesus Bracamontes, who also has one of those 8 base hits, a 2nd inning single. Grant delivers, and that one is a strike, and it's now 0-1. Jesus Bracamontes is from Tucson, Arizona. 6 foot, 195-pound backstop for Northwest Arizona, who just was out in front of that off-speed pitch. And the count's now no balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning in a 2-2 tie. As Grant goes through this stretch and checks over at first and throws high. And the count's 1-2. Boy, the way Tanner Holen pointed back at his pitcher, he wanted that one up, though. They wanted to see if maybe they could get Bracamontes chasing something upstairs. Runner goes. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. And down goes Bracamontes. 2 strikeouts for Sam Grant coming on for his 1st inning of work. He does a nice job. A hit and 1 left. And we are halfway home already. It's Valley Center 2 and Northwest Arizona 2.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Love you, Coach. Aw.
9 o'clock, you're pitching tomorrow.
Ready for the bottom of the 5th inning from Lawrence Dumont Stadium. A good one, a 2-2 tie. Northwest Arizona, 2 runs and 8 hits. Valley Center, 2 runs, 4 hits. 3 of the Valley Center 4 hits came to the first 3 batters in the bottom of the 1st inning. So they've only had 1 off Cesar Dominguez since there were nobody out in the bottom of the 1st inning. Now, leadoff batter here for Valley Center is going to fly out to right. as a fly ball caught by Gilbert Valenzuela retires Tanner Holen, and just like that, one up, one down. So credit Dominguez, who's really settled in now. And Braden Eckhout will step in now. Eckhout 0 for 1. He grounded out to second. Back in the second inning. Dominguez to Eckhout. And he takes his strike on the outside edge. I think Eckhout might have thought that one was out, and it was in. 0-1. Dominguez ready, delivers the 0-1, and a hot shot back up the middle and through. That'll be a base hit. And I think Cesar Dominguez is thinking he should have snared that one, as he sort of nonchalantly reached down a little bit late, and it got by him and on into center field. So a one-out base hit, and Valley Center with the runner at first base. We'll go back to the top of the order now with Buddy Johnson. So Dominguez will work from the stretch now with a runner at first. And he'll look that way a couple of times and throw that way now. And that one was close, but the ball dribbled away from Catalano, the first baseman. Buddy Johnson has really had a tale of two at-bats. A very hard hit, line drive, base hit just inside the bag at third to start the bottom of the first inning, but then did not have a very good at-bat. Fooled a couple of times on Dominguez pitches in his second at-bat 2 innings ago, and he struck out. So he is 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. And the pitch to Johnson, he's bunting, and it's foul up the third baseline. So the count is no balls and a strike to Buddy Johnson. Johnson is from Shelbyville, Kentucky, attending Southern Indiana. There are a couple of these players from Valley Center attending Southern Indiana, and he's had a nice long tenure there too. 3 seasons there. He'll be starting his senior season of college this coming fall. He's showing bunt here and takes away. He played in 20 games in 2015, did Buddy Johnson at Southern Indiana. Hit 263, and then in 2016 he hit 216 with 12 runs batted in and a homer. Throw over to first, fairly close, but back diving in was Eckhout. And then in 2017, Buddy Johnson hit 233 with a homer and 16 runs batted in. He sends one here through to the left side and into left field for a base hit. And Johnson, a 2 for 3 start to this one. A double and a single. He stops at first base. Down to second base goes Eckhout, and now runners at first and second with one away. And that'll bring up Brandon Benna, the left fielder. So Valley Center with something cooking here. Runners at first and second, one away. Bottom of the 5th inning in a 2-2 tie. Benna's been on base both times today. An RBI single in the first inning. He reached on an error and scored in the third. So Dominguez will stretch and deliver to Benna, whose first pitch swings and sends one back and out of play. Benna is the one that grounded over to third back in the third inning, and Daniel Diaz threw high to first. And when Marcus Catalano, the first baseman, leaped in the air to try to catch the high throw, Benna collided right into him. It was a big collision for 2 big guys. And Benna ended up at second base on a 2-base throwing error. The 0-1 fouled again. This one sliced down the right side and out of play. And the count is 0-2. Runners at first and second. One away, bottom of the 5th inning of a 2-2 tie. Northwest Arizona has out-hit Valley Center now 8-6. But in the run column, we are tied at 2 apiece. Dominguez takes his time checking with Bracamontes for the sign. Now he's got it. A couple of looks back at second, and the pitch is home, and another one fouled back and out of play. So Dominguez keeping that one just close enough to the zone on 0-2 that Benna offered at it, and to Benna's credit, he made contact to stay alive. The count is still no balls and 2 strikes. Temperature now is at 90 degrees, so it has climbed quickly since the start of this game when it was in the low to mid 80s. Dominguez ready, dancing around back at second is Eckhout, and he may be distracting Dominguez, and now time is called. Yeah, there's a good cat and mouse game going on between Eckhout at second and Cesar Dominguez, who kept looking back because he kept seeing Eckhout dancing around back there, and Manny Ramirez, the shortstop, not in to cover the bag. So Eckhout can have free reign to do what he wants. In the meantime, another one fouled back and out of play. And the count is still 0-2 to Brandon Bena. This has turned into a nice at bat for him. Staying alive, and now we'll try it again. Bena's single in the first inning brought home an RBI. He advanced to second base on Zach Backley's single, but was retired at third on a force out on a ground ball to short by Clayton Hale. 0-2, the pitch, bouncing ball out to short. Ramirez is there to second for one. They'll throw to first in time for a 6-4-3 double play, and Northwest Arizona gets out of the inning. So back-to-back base hits for Valley Center, but the double play ends the threat. We go to the sixth. Valley Center 2 and Northwest Arizona 2. Sam Brown out for his second inning of work for Valley Center. We've got a good one going, a 2-2 tie as we move to inning number 6. This is back-to-back games now where we were tied going to the 6th inning. Last night, the 7 o'clock game had Mulvane and Fort Collins tied at 5-5 in the middle innings, all the way until the top of the 9th inning when Mulvane scored a single run to win 6-5. And now Sam Grant, who just came into the game, has been issued a ball because he has not delivered the pitch yet to start the top of the 6th inning. The first one he does throw misses to Valenzuela, so it's 2 balls and no strikes, just like that. Again, you've got to beat the clock here as they try to keep things moving at the NBC. And this pitch is low, so 2 pitches out of the zone plus the penalty. It's 3 balls and no strikes quickly to Robert Valenzuela. And Valenzuela taking on the inside edge a strike. It's 3-1. Valenzuela is 0 for 2, and if you're Brandon Bena in left field, you should be ready because Valenzuela has flied out twice to left. Takes another one on the inside edge again. Valenzuela thought both of those were inside. So all of a sudden, the count is now full. Nice job by Grant to answer with 2 quick strikes. And the 3-2, he rips this one toward left, but it's going to hook foul. And the count is still full at 3-2. Lawrence Dumont Stadium, just a beautiful setting at this wonderful tournament. Great look at the skyline in downtown Wichita. Over the outfield fence. Breaking ball stays away. It doesn't have any break, and that's ball 4. It's an historic ballpark. It's home to minor league baseball and has for many, many years, as well as the NBC World Series. And the city of Wichita is helping pitch in to undergo some renovations to this stadium that will help enhance it over the years. So everybody here that loves this great game of baseball excited about that. First pitch to Marcus Catalano, low and inside for a ball. 1-0. Catalano's 1 for 2, a second inning double. He flied out to left in the 4th inning. And he takes here on the outside edge a fastball, a strike. It's 1-1. An all-turf surface again, everywhere on this playing field except the pitcher's mound, which is dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one ripped into right center field. That's down, and it's going to scoot for a while on that turf and all the way to the fence. Here comes Valenzuela rounding third. He's being waved home. He'll score easily, and down to third goes Catalano, sliding in safely with an RBI triple, and Northwest Arizona has taken a 3-2 lead. That's the second triple of the game for the Boom, as earlier in the game, Nick Gonzalez had an RBI triple with a runner at first. That's exactly what happened there. Catalano to right center field, an RBI triple with a runner at first. And that scores Robert Valenzuela, and Northwest Arizona leads now 3-2. So here's Gilbert Valenzuela taking a ball 1-0. Nick Gonzalez, interestingly enough, had his triple also to a very similar location in right center field. Pitch is a strike now. The count's even 1-1 to Valenzuela. So a pair of RBI triples in the game for Northwest Arizona. They lead 3-2. 1-1, bouncing ball over to short, deep in the hole is going to be Baxley. He'll throw to first late, and that'll get the run home. It'll be an RBI infield base hit for Valenzuela, and it's now 4-2. Northwest Arizona has the lead. Baxley went back and to his right, did all he could. That one was just simply too deep in the hole. And Gilbert Valenzuela, out of the 8th spot, has now been on base all 3 times. He's been hit by a pitch and has a pair of singles since then. A swing and a miss to Paulo Rodriguez for a strike, 0-1. But 10 hits now in the game for Northwest Arizona. More action in the Valley Center bullpen, and Northwest Arizona leads by the score of 4-2. As the stretch here, and the pitch bunted back to the screen. No balls and a strike. So Sam Grant came on in the 5th inning and struck out 2, gave up a 2-out single that was relatively harmless, but in trouble here. A walk, a triple, and a single, and now he's dealing with Paulo Rodriguez with a runner at first and nobody out. Breaking ball, strike 3 called, as Rodriguez wanted to bunt but thought that was a strike. And he pulled the bat back but then gets rung up, and down he goes. So 1 away. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Grant since he came in the last inning, and we'll take it back to the top of the order with Daniel Diaz. Grant, the lefty, prevents Valenzuela from getting the kind of lead he wants. Now there he goes, throw to first, now to second, and the tag, and not in time. Valenzuela started to second before Grant started his motion, so Grant threw to first. They tried to get the 1-3-6, or the 1-3-4 it would have been, as it was the second baseman Eckhout covering, but the throw to second a little bit late and a stolen base for Valenzuela. So he's down at second now, and here comes the pitch home, taken low and in for a ball, 1-0. So 4-2 our score, 4 runs, 10 hits for Northwest Arizona. They've committed an error, and it was a costly one. But they lead by 2 as a pitch. Hot shot back towards second to his right. Eckhout, nice play, going down to an E. Sliding, gloving, then throwing to first for a 4-3 putout, 2 away. So a nice play there, and that'll bring up Luis Valenzuela.
Second baseman, number 10, Luis Valenzuela.
Down to third base on that ground ball, by the way, goes Valenzuela, but now here's Luis Valenzuela with 2 outs and a runner at third. Valenzuela is 0 for 3. The first pitch from Grant, off speed and rip down the right side. That's going to hook foul and out of play. 0-1. Valenzuela is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He also grounded into a fielder's choice, but he reached base when he did back in the 3rd inning. And he was the one that came all the way around to score on Nick Gonzalez's RBI triple to right center field. Pitches down low, nicely stopped by Holen behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luis Valenzuela. Valenzuela's from Tucson, 5'10", 170-pound left-handed batter. And here comes the pitch, breaking ball low and away. Nice job again by Holland behind the plate. It's 2-1. The first of 4 games from Lawrence Dumont Stadium today. This one was supposed to be played at 9:30 last night. That was the scheduled time as the pitch comes in tight for a ball. But the previous games pushed this one back to about 10:30. I believe it was 10:36 when I looked at the clock and was about ready for the first pitch. Valley Center had even taken the field to go through top of the first warm-ups, and then lightning and thunder and rain shortly after that. A swing and a miss there. The count's now full. It's 3-2. Nick Gonzalez waits on deck. Runner at third, 2 away, 4-2. Valley Center is trailing Northwest Arizona, and a breaking ball here. Q-sticked foul up toward third. That one heads down toward the bullpen of Valley Center in left field. So the count remains full at 3-2. 4-2 our score. 2 runs for Northwest Arizona in the third, 2 more here in the sixth. And the full count pitch is low, ball 4. So Valenzuela, the 2-out walk, he'll head down to first base. So here's Nick Gonzalez, who has the aforementioned third inning RBI triple. His only base hit of the game, he's 1 for 3. He flied out to left and bounced back to the pitcher outside of that. Takes the first pitch here, low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Gonzalez also scored in the third inning after his RBI triple as Manny Ramirez singled and brought him home. Pitch gets away from Holland. There goes the runner down to second. There'll be no throw. It deflected off of Holland and actually trickled in foul ground up toward the first baseline, but Holland didn't see it right away, and not until Valenzuela was sliding his way into second base. So a runner at second now, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning of a 4-2 score. Northwest Arizona with the lead. Grant asks Holland to go through the signs again, does, then Grant delivers low, and the count's 3-0. Manny Ramirez on deck, 3 balls, no strikes to count to Nick Gonzalez. And the 3-0 has Gonzalez taking. It's a fastball on the inside corner. And the count's now 3-1. Grant set at the belt and delivers. And there's ball 4. And they are now loaded with Northwest Boom, as that's a 2-out walk to Gonzalez. So Gilbert Valenzuela down at third, Luis Valenzuela's at second, Nick Gonzalez is at first, and here's Manny Ramirez, the shortstop. 2 outs, they are loaded with Northwest Boom, and the first pitch to Ramirez is a ball inside, 1-0. Ramirez is having a nice day. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and an RBI single in the third. As I mentioned moments ago, he scored Nick Gonzalez after Nick Gonzalez tripled in the third inning. That's the RBI for Ramirez. 2 for 3 with a ground out to first as well. And the pitch inside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. So Sam Grant came out looking pretty good, but laboring here in the 6th inning, his 2nd inning of work. Trying to get out of it with the bases loaded and 2 outs. There's a good pitch. It's a strike. And the count is now 2-1. Grant stretches and delivers. This one is driven to left field. Bania going back. He's got a beat on it, though, and he'll track it down in front of the track, and the side retired. So 2 score for Northwest Arizona, but it could have been much worse as they leave them loaded. After 5.5, Northwest Arizona 4, Valley Center 2.
Mom, we're gonna be late.
I know.
Ready for the bottom of the 6th inning from Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Valley Center now trailing by 2, 4-2. Largest deficit for the Mud Daubers after they jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 1st inning. They trailed 2-1 in the 3rd, but they tied it up quickly in the bottom of that inning. Zach Baxley, first pitch swings and sends one to shallow right center. Luis Valenzuela, the second baseman, backs up and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. So 1 away now, and Clayton Hale will step in. As Cesar Dominguez has been a big story for Northwest Arizona in this game. On the ropes in the very 1st inning. Now a ground ball to second by Clayton Hale. Mishandled at second by Valenzuela. That's going to be an E4 on a very routine ground ball that could have been out number 2. Boy, Dominguez would have loved that. That would have been a 2-pitch, 2-out start to the bottom of the 6th inning. Instead, it's an error and a runner at first base for Carson Arnsberry. Boy, Valenzuela must have just taken his eye off that. Very routine. He was dancing to his left, but clearly should have had that one. Throw over to first, and that was close. And boy, from here it looked like Hale might have gotten picked off. And Cesar Dominguez. In fact, look at Northwest Arizona. They're already throwing the ball around the horn. They thought they got the out. And it did look like it from up here. One runner has already been picked off in this game by Cesar Dominguez. Pitches in there for a strike. It's 0-1. In fact, it was Zach Baxley who led off the inning moments ago, flying out to second. A strike here to Carson Arnsberry. 0-1, and Arnsberry sends one to right. Pretty well struck. Gilbert Valenzuela going back. He's not going to get to this one. It's going to bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. So Arnsberry, who had struck out twice before that at bat, sent one the other way, and on this AstroTurf field, it bounces over the fence in right field, and that'll be a ground rule double. So Luis Valenzuela, the coach for Northwest Arizona, is out of the dugout, and I think he's going to get somebody warming up down in the bullpen. So on the ground rule double, Clayton Hale has to stop at third base. He only gets 2 because 2 bases is all Arnsberry gets on the ground rule double, and runners at second and third. But a good start to the inning for Valley Center. 2 in scoring position, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning as they trail by the score of 4-2. West Chase, Texas and Jasper, Indiana starting at 1:30, the scheduled start time for that one. Dallas is Dirtbags and the Great Bend Batcats scheduled at 4. The 7 o'clock game is the feature game every night here at Lawrence Dumont, and it'll have Cheney's Diamond Dogs against Fresno's A's of California. And then at 9:30, Hattiesburg, Mississippi Black Sox will take on the Inland Empire of California Golden Bears. And there you go, your NBC schedule for day number 2. Here's Logan Brown, the third baseman, with runners at second and third, taking a strike, 0-1, as indeed activity has started down in the bullpen for Northwest Arizona. And it looks like righty Miguel Figueroa is warming up down in the bullpen for the Boom. Bases loaded, and the pitch low and away for a ball, 1-1 to Logan Brown. Brown is 0 for 2. He grounded out back in the first inning and struck out in the 4th. He's got runners at second and third here, 1 away, bottom of the 6th inning, 4-2 Northwest Arizona with the lead. As Dominguez pitches, and this one fouled at the plate, as Brown barely got a piece of it, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. The corner infielders over at third, Diaz, at first, Catalano, pretty much playing even with the bag. They will give up the run up the middle, though, as Ramirez at short, Valenzuela at second, playing pretty much at normal depth with runners at second and third. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a big strikeout to Logan Brown, and down he goes.
Visit HVAC.com to request a free estimate on all your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical replacement needs.
5th strikeout of the game for Cesar Dominguez, and that one was huge. So now 2 away, and the infielders retreat to normal depth. And here's Trent Smith, the first baseman. And Smith has a pair of groundouts to short, so he's 0 for 2 with a couple of 6-3 groundouts, and this might well be the third. How about that? Over to Ramirez, a throw to first in time, as Valley Center leaves 2 in scoring position, and Trent Smith 3 groundouts to short. To the 7th we go. Northwest Arizona 4, Valley Center 2.
For 6 generations, this land has provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/cleanenergy.
Ready for the 7th inning, and a new pitcher out there for Valley Center, their third. It's right-hander Tyler Michaels that will take the hill for Valley Center. So Michaels will get some warm-up tosses as he will take a look at the Northwest Arizona Boom, who lead Valley Center by the score of 4-2. And it'll be Jesus Bracamontes, Robert Valenzuela, Marcus Catalano. 5, 6, and 7 for Northwest Arizona, as they lead the Mud Daubers of Valley Center by the score of 4-2. Northwest Arizona also with 10 hits in addition to their 4 runs so far on the day. Michaels is from Aston, Pennsylvania, and he's attending Penn State Brandywine. I did not know until just now that there was a Penn State Brandywine, but there is, and that's where Tyler Michaels is from. And he's out there on the hill right now. So Jesus Bracamontes set to step in against Michaels. 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for Northwest Arizona. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Valley Center Mud Daubers. As stepping in is going to be the right-handed hitting Bracamontes, and the first pitch from Michaels is in there for a strike, 0-1. Tyler Michaels, 6 feet, 185 pounds, a right-handed pitcher. Working from the windup here, and the pitch inside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bracamontes is 1 for 3, a single, a flyout, and a strikeout as well. Takes high and away here. And the count is 2 balls and a strike. Michaels set, winds, delivers, and this one low and away. So not a good start. 4 pitches in for Tyler Michaels as he has delivered 3 balls. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Michaels, recognizing he's not on right now, takes a little circle walk around the rubber and now gets back on. Trying to get dialed in. We'll see if he is. The 3-1 is fouled off over toward third, and the count's full at 3-2. Very light breeze today. It's out of the north, which normally you see a wind out of the south. When the storm came in last night, it was out of the north. But not much wind at all as this one is struck. Speaking of wind, this one high into the sky, but not much wind to blow it. And Buddy Johnson camps under it, makes the catch, and 1 away. So that'll bring up Robert Valenzuela. Valenzuela is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to left, both of them. However, he did walk in the 6th inning and ended up scoring in that inning. And the first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. So no balls and a strike as Michaels is ready, and this one lift up, foul territory, hole on the catcher is over, and he'll make the catch in foul ground for the second out of the inning. So 2 away now, and that'll bring up Marcus Catalano.
First baseman, number 22, Marcus Catalano.
Tyler Michaels, this past season at Penn State Brandywine, made 6 appearances. His record was 1-0. He only pitched in 12 1/3 innings. The first pitch to Marcus Catalano was outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. In those 12 1/3 innings, an 8.03 earned run average, he did strike out 9 in 12 1/3. And there's a strike to Catalano. And the count's 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1, and the pitch off speed, broken bat, one hopper over the mound, and then by the time it gets on a few hops out to Eckhout at second, the throw's late to first. So that one high hop went over the mound. Michaels leaped and couldn't come away with it on the broken bat bouncing ball, but Catalano does get the infield single as it took Eckhout a while to get into that one. So that'll bring up Gilbert Valenzuela now, the right fielder. Valenzuela's having a nice afternoon. I can say that now. It's after 12 here in the Central Time Zone. He's 2 for 2 and also been hit by a pitch, so he's been aboard all 3 times. And he takes a strike here, and it's 0-1. Runner at first, 2 away, top of the 7th inning. Northwest Arizona leading Valley Center by the score of 4-2. And he barely gets a piece of this one and stays alive. Valenzuela's single in the 6th inning produced a run, so he's also got an RBI. As he scored Marcus Catalano from third, Catalano had a triple and then was brought home on Valenzuela's single. Runner at first, 2 away, top of the 7th inning, 4-2, Northwest Arizona with the lead. Paulo Rodriguez, the designated hitter, waits on deck. There goes the runner. The pitch breaking ball swung on and lifted left field. Banda going back. He's not going to get to this one. It's going to take a high bounce near the track. And here comes Catalano running home, and he will score. Down to second goes Valenzuela with his 3rd hit of the game and 2nd RBI. It's 5-2, Northwest Arizona with the lead. As Valenzuela found the gap that time, the runner was moving on a hit and run, and so Catalano all the way from first base scores, and it's now a 3-run lead for the Northwest Boom. It's 5-2. So Valenzuela is vying for MVP of the game for Northwest Arizona, 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs, and he has been on base all 4 times. Here's Paulo Rodriguez now. And Rodriguez takes one low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Rodriguez has a base hit in 3 plate appearances, but in his other 2, he struck out. 1 ball and no strikes, and here comes a pitch, fouled and out of play. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Rodriguez from Nogales, Arizona. 6 feet, 165 pounds. And he takes here outside for a ball. And the count is 2 balls and a strike. We'll go back to the top of the order next if Rodriguez gets on, that is, with Daniel Diaz. 5-2 our score. Northwest Arizona with the lead. Runner at second, 2 away. As Michaels looks back at second a couple times and delivers, and this one reached out and poked foul down the right side. And the count is still 2-2.
Aegis Group for all your insurance needs. Call Aegis or visit aegisgroup.com.
Temperature has hit 95 degrees. It's around 10, 11 degrees warmer, I believe, than when we started the game. Game also about 90 minutes old now, a little more than that. Pitch is in the, don't want to say the dirt, it's all turf here, but nice stop by Holen. Runner not going anywhere at second base. Valenzuela stays there. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now the count is full to Paulo Rodriguez. Pretty big pitch right here because you know Michaels doesn't want to mess with going back to the top of the order with 2 away and his team already down 3. Michaels stretches, pitches, and an off-speed pitch bounced out to short, fielded there by Baxley, who will throw to first in time. Side retired, but a couple more hits and another run scores for Northwest Arizona as it's stretch time at Lawrence Dumont, and it's Northwest Arizona 5, Valley Center 2.
Won't you come dream with me now, now? Yeah, chasing down a beautiful dream. Won't you come follow me now, now? Yeah, won't you come dream with me now, now?
Ready for the bottom of the 7th inning, and Valley Center's Mud Daubers now have their work cut out for them, down to their final 9 outs, and they trail Northwest Arizona by 3. So Tanner Holen will step in now as Northwest Arizona guarding a 3-run lead, and Cesar Dominguez out there for inning number 7. First pitch to Holen is in there for a strike, 0-1. Holen, Braden Eckhout, and Buddy Johnson, 8-9-1 for Valley Center in a 5-2 Northwest Arizona lead. Dominguez delivers low and away to Holen, and it's 1-1. Tanner Holen is 0 for 2. He is grounded out to short and flied out to right. Holen set and delivers, and off speed outside. It's 2-1. Tanner Holen is from Iowa Western Community College, if that sounds familiar. There are a couple of Valley Center players on that team as he takes inside for a ball. Hit .281 this past season with 3 runs batted in. And there is a ball 4, and down to first base he goes. So Holen is on at first base, and that's a leadoff batter aboard for Valley Center, something they badly need. So Braden Eckhout will step in now. So Eckhout is in at the plate with a runner at first, nobody out. As Dominguez goes through the stretch, and a bunt, and it's a pretty good one out in front of the plate, and fielding it's going to be the catcher. He'll throw to first in time. Nice play. 2-3 as Bracamontes fires to Catalano for the sacrifice putout. But it did the trick, is down to second base goes Tanner Holen. Sole runner at second, 1 away now. Back to the top of the order we go with Buddy Johnson. Johnson is 2 for 3. He's singled and doubled, and those in the 5th and 1st inning respectively. Takes a strike, 0-1. In between his 1st inning double and his 5th inning single, a strikeout swinging in the 3rd. So 2 for 3 for Johnson with a runner at second here, a chance to bring home a run. That's Holland who gets his lead. Holland dancing around. The pitch to Johnson is outside for a ball. And the count is 1-1 strike. Johnson scored after his first inning double as well on Brandon Bena's single. Valley Center jumped on Cesar Dominguez right away in the very first inning, but they've been fairly quiet ever since. This one comes inside and it hit him right in the back. And Johnson will make his way down to first base as he takes one for the team, and now runners at first and second with one away for Brandon Bena. So Valley Center is down 3, but a great opportunity here with 2 on and 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. They trail by the score of 5-2, but Brandon Bena represents the tying run as a home run here would put us at 5-5. As Cesar Dominguez goes through the stretch, and the pitch to Bena is low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. The Northwest Arizona infield would love, though, to see a ground ball double play, and that's something Bena has already done. With a runner at first and 1 out in the 5th inning, that was his last time up, Bena grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. So he's got to be careful here not to do that again, or this potential rally will come to a quick halt. Bena singled in the first inning with that RBI, then reached on an error in the 3rd and came around to score eventually as well. So he is 1 for 3. Dominguez stretches. Nobody holding the runners on. And the throw home. Lifted center field, pretty much right at Nick Gonzalez. Now drifts over a little bit to his left, and he'll move under it and make the catch. Nowhere to go for Buddy Johnson, Tanner Holland at second base on a fly ball to center, and a big second out in the inning. So 2 outs now, and here's Zach Baxley. Baxley got an RBI single back in the 3rd inning. He's 2 for 3. Singled also in the 1st. Runners at first and second here, 2 away. Bottom of the 7th inning in a 5-2 Northwest Arizona lead. Cesar Dominguez, long look back at second and throws home. And this one is ripped. Shallow left field. That's down. That'll be a base hit. Valenzuela up with the ball in shallow left, so they will not send Holland from third, as that one was a little blooper into very shallow left field. And even with 2 outs, Valley Center couldn't roll the dice there, so Nate Landry holds up Holland at third base. So down to third, Holland, Buddy Johnson at second, and the 2-out single for Zach Baxley. He's on at first. And a pitching change being made. That is going to do it for Cesar Dominguez. What a job he did through 6 2/3, but he's reached the end of the line after a rocky start, a quick recovery, and Dominguez leaves. He is responsible for all 3 runners on, but so far through 6 2/3, 8 hits, and his team leads by the score of 5-2. So a new pitcher on for Northwest Arizona to try to get the boom out of this jam. Ernesto Romero will be the new pitcher for Northwest Arizona. Left-handed pitcher. Romero will take some warm-up tosses now, as the next batter he's going to face is Clayton Hale, the left-handed hitter. So Luis Valenzuela going with the lefty pitcher here to battle with the lefty hitter in Clayton Hale. The 1:30, 4, 7, and 9:30 times will be the time starts for all World Series games, the scheduled times anyway, pretty much all the way through the tournament. So for those of you that are new to this tournament and unfamiliar with the format, pretty much just get accustomed to 1:30, 4, 7, and 9:30, as those will be the start times throughout. And a couple of Sundays from now, in fact, 2 weeks from now, we will have the championship game of this tournament. So here we go. Clayton Hale about to step in as he takes the first look at Ernesto Romero. But first, Jesus Bracamontes is back from behind the plate, out to the hill, and he wants to talk to his pitcher. Now, there will be a difference when we play the semifinals of the pool play. There will not be the 1:30 and 4 games this coming Friday, the 28th, because we'll be down to the semifinals, just 2 games of semifinals for pool play, and that'll be Friday at 7 and 9:30. But up until then, from now until Thursday, 1:34, 7 and 9:30. All right, here we go. Clayton Hale steps in. First pitch from Romero is a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Ernesto Romero is 6 feet, 194 pounds, a southpaw, trying to get his team out of a bases-loaded jam with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As Romero deals, and that one's a pretty pitch in there for a strike. And the count is even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Clayton Hale is 0 for 3 on the day, but he's been on base twice. He's grounded into a fielder's choice and reached base there, and that was in the 1st inning. He reached on an error in the 6th. Sends one bouncing over toward first here, and the first baseman, Catalano, a nice play, but the throw to first in time. Oh, how in the world is that the case? Oh, it looked like Catalano was on the bag for a 3-1 putout, and they say no, or excuse me, the pitcher. And that's going to be argued by Valley Center's Nate Landry, but to no avail. Boy, did that look like a 3-1 with Romero covering the bag, I should say. Instead, Valley Center's inning comes to an end. They leave him loaded with controversy. We go to the 8th. Northwest Arizona 5 and Valley Center 2.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
Ready for the top of the 8th inning now. Daniel Diaz to start it for Northwest Arizona after some controversy in the bottom of the 7th inning on what looked like an out at, or a safe play at first base, and what would have been a run scored for Valley Center to keep the inning alive. Runner going down to first. Clayton Hale was called out on what ends up being a 3-1 putout, and that threat comes to an end as Valley Center left them loaded. That was huge because they're down 3 still as we go to the 8th. 2 balls and a strike now to Daniel Diaz, leadoff batter in this inning and in the lineup for Northwest Arizona. So he's got a 2-1 count in his favor. Tyler Michaels is out for another inning of work for Valley Center. And this one is ripped left field. Bennett going back, still going back, and he's going to reach up and make the catch. That one well struck by Diaz, but Bennett able to back up in time for a long fly out to left field, 1 away. So here's Luis Valenzuela now, who is hitless today, but still a pretty busy day nonetheless. He does have a couple of strikeouts, but he's reached base twice, once in the 3rd and once in the 6th. First pitch to Valenzuela, slow, breaking ball by Michaels, high and away, 1-0. Valenzuela reached in the 3rd on a fielder's choice, came around to score on Nick Gonzalez's RBI triple. He then walked in the 6th inning and stole second base, so he's still going to have some numbers in the stat sheet when this one is over. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count is even at 1 strike. Temperature is dropped 4 degrees. It's down to 91. Just moments ago it was up at 95. Breaking ball lifted, shallow, right center field. Johnson's coming on though, and Buddy Johnson makes the catch for 2 quick outs. So a fly out to left and a fly out to center to start the top of the 8th inning. Here's Nick Gonzalez now, the center fielder. Gonzalez had that RBI triple in the 3rd. Pretty quiet since then, 0 for 2, but he has walked, although he was stranded at first base when he did back in the 6th inning. Takes the first pitch, low and away for a ball, 1-0. Nick Gonzalez from Vail, Arizona. Again, only one player on this Northern Arizona team is not from Arizona. Bouncing ball over to third, gloved nicely by Logan Brown. A throw to first, and did the first baseman stay on the bag? Smith did for a 5-3 putout to retire the side. A pretty easy 1-2-3 for Tyler Michaels. After 7.5, Northwest Arizona 5, Valley Center 2.
Davis Moore is proud to support our local schools and teachers through organizations like Project Teacher that provide free school supplies to students in the greater Wichita area. Through the month of July, we're collecting school supplies like pencils, crayons, glue sticks, markers, and paper. Stop by any of our dealerships with your donation so that together we can help get supplies into the hands of children in our schools. From all of us at Davis Moore, thank you for your continued support to help our community.
Ready for the bottom of the 8th inning. The Valley Center Mud Daubers running out of outs here as they trail the Northwest Arizona Boom by the score of 5-2. Ernesto Romero out for another inning of work for Northwest Arizona. He came on in the last inning and got his team out of a jam, and now he'll start fresh in the bottom of the 8th, and the first man he'll face is Carson Ardensberry. Arnsberry doubled to right field back in the 6th inning. His first hit of the game, he's 1 for 3. And Arnsberry takes low and in for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. It was a ground rule double that Arnsberry stroked to right field, and that turned out to be a bad break for Valley Center. As he takes on the inside corner, it's a strike. Because Clayton Hale was on first base and had to stop at third because of the ground rule double. Had that ball stayed in the field of play, Hale would have easily scored a run. This one fouled back and out of play. So if you factor in the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes, that bad break and then the bad call at first base in the last half inning when it looked like Valley Center was going to get at least a run, they could very much consider this a different score than 5-2. Ground ball to short, fielded by Arnsberry, by Ramirez. He'll throw to first for a 6-3 putout, and there's 1 away. So that'll bring up Logan Brown. Brown is 0 for 3. He's grounded out to second and struck out a couple of times, both times swinging, once in the 4th and once in the 6th. And he takes on the outside edge here a strike from Ernesto Romero, 0-1. Ernesto Romero from Tucson, Arizona. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed batter here. And this one chopped foul over toward first. So the count is quickly 0-2. Logan Brown, I mentioned earlier, he's from southern Indiana. He is an Indiana native originally from Mount Vernon, Indiana, and he lifts one to left, tracked down by Robert Valenzuela for a flyout 2 away. So a nice job so far by Ernesto Romero. A ground out to short and a flyout to left. Nobody on, 2 outs, and here's Trent Smith. Well, what a nice job that Cesar Dominguez and now Romero have done here for Northwest Arizona after a very shaky start. First pitch to Smith, A wave for a ball, 1-0. Dominguez was on the ropes in the very first inning. There was activity in the bullpen. 3 batters into the game after 3 hard hits. And he ended up taking this thing into the 7th inning. Pitch outside for a ball, 2-0. So he really settled down. And the run that Valley Center scored in the 3rd inning was unearned, so that's not even his responsibility. The second run that was scored by the Mud Daubers pitched low for a ball. And the count's now 3 balls and no strikes to Trent Smith. Smith has pulled the hat trick. 3 ground ball outs to shortstop, so be ready, Manny Ramirez. He's come your way 3 times, although here is ball 4. And Smith down to first base. So a 2-out walk issued to Smith, and Tanner Holen will step in now. 0 for 2 start for Holen. He did walk back in the 7th inning. But a ground out to short and a fly out to right field for Holen, who walked and was stranded eventually at 3rd in the last inning. Romero to Holen, taken for a strike, 0-1. Again, Valley Center left him loaded in the 3rd. Holen was stranded at 2nd. At 3rd. Buddy Johnson was at 2nd. Zach Baxley at 1st. And the pitch, bouncing ball over to 3rd, fielded by Diaz. A strong throw across in time. A 5-3 put out, and nothing happens after a 2-out walk issued to Trent Smith. We go to the 9th. Northwest Arizona 5, Valley Center 2.
It's time to make a muscle and make a difference, Wichita.
Davis Moore has partnered with the MDA for more than 15 years, supporting the Drive to a Cure efforts of curing neuromuscular diseases and improving the quality of life for kids like these.
During the month of August, the Davis Moore Auto Group will proudly donate a portion of this month's sales to MDA. If you'd like to help, come into any one of our Davis Moore locations to make your donation. Help us drive to a cure under the big American flag.
So we go to the 9th inning. Manny Ramirez will lead it off for Northwest Arizona. His team leading Valley Center by the score of 5-2. So Ramirez to get it started. Jesus Bracamontes and Robert Valenzuela, 4, 5, and 6. As Ramirez sends the first one foul from Tyler Michaels, 0-1. So Michaels out for his 3rd inning of work. Came on in the 7th inning, now here in the 9th. And delivers the 0-1, and that one is down low for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramirez is 2 for 4. His 2nd and 3rd at bats of the day were both singles in the 3rd and 5th innings. He's also grounded out to first and flied out to left, so 2 for 4 with an RBI as well. Ramirez takes a strike, and it's now 1-2. Michael stretches out the arms above the head, now comes ready through the windup and delivers, and this one swung on. Chopper out toward short. It's going to be the 3rd baseman, though, Brown, that deflects it. It's off of his glove, and it rolls out toward the shortstop position, and on at first base is going to be Ramirez. And we'll see if that's going to be an error on Logan Brown, who came over to cut that one off in front of the shortstop, deflected off of his glove, and I believe they've made that a base hit. So it will be a hit, as Ramirez may have beaten out that throw anyway, as he runs with good speed, and that was a slow bouncing ball out between short and 3rd. And the first pitch is strike to Jesus Bracamontes, 0-1. So 5-2, Northwest Arizona with the lead, and now A runner at first to start the top of the 9th inning. Michaels from the stretch delivers, and the 0-1, a ball and a snap throw to first, and Ramirez nearly came off the bag. He got to first in time, but his momentum nearly carried him off of it and got tagged out by Trent Smith, but just kept the toe on the bag. So 1 ball, 1 strike, the count at the plate. Miguel Figueroa is warming up again for Northwest Arizona. He was warming up earlier in the game, and he's down there again. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch fouled out of play, right side. That one will sail over and beyond the first base dugout, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Robert Valenzuela waits on deck. Michaels stretches, and the runner bluffs, and the pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. 1-2. Due up for Valley Center in the bottom of the 9th inning, Braden Eckhout, Buddy Johnson, and Brandon Bena. So 9, 1, and 2 in the order for Valley Center. Eckhout, Johnson, and Bena, the 3 due up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Good strikeout from Michaels. He needed that one. And there's 1 away for Robert Valenzuela.
Other heating and air companies, visit HVAC.com for request a free estimate on all your plumbing, HVAC, and electrical replacement needs. Buddy, the left-fielder, number 2, Robert Valenzuela.
Valenzuela's hitless on the day. He does have a trip to the base paths, that back in the 6th inning when he was walked and scored that inning as well. So he's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. That was the RBI triple by the man on deck, Marcus Catalano, back in the 6th inning. There goes the runner, and the throw to second in time. The tag is there, and the swipe stealing. 2-4 it goes. Is a nice job Holland, the throw, and Eckholt had a nice job right there. Braden Eckholt, the second baseman, caught that throw a little bit high, then had to reach down and behind him a little bit to get Ramirez stealing second base, but it worked out for a 2-4, caught stealing. 2 quick outs now, and here's the pitch to Valenzuela, low for a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. That's the second throw out that Holland has on a base runner trying to steal. In fact, both times it was Manny Ramirez. There's a strike, it's 2-1. So Ramirez is 0 for 2 in stolen bases today against Tanner Holland. Holland's got the better end of the deal. It happened in the 3rd inning, and now it happens here in the 9th. Swing and a miss for a strike, and it's now 2-2. So after the leadoff batter got aboard against Tyler Michaels for Northwest Arizona, caught stealing has Michaels now 1 strike away from facing the minimum. And the pitch, there's a swing and a miss, and down goes Valenzuela, and indeed, that's exactly what happens. Back-to-back strikeouts for Michaels in the top of the 9th. To the bottom of the 9th, Northwest Arizona 5, Valley Center 2.
Mount up, take off, and chase the sun. Experience more of what makes Kansas great. And let K-Tag help you get there. 236 miles of road. Endless destinations of wonder. Start your adventure with K-Tag. Get your free K-Tag at myktag.com.
Well, Miguel Figueroa will come out and try to finish off Valley Center here in the bottom of the 9th inning in a 5-2 Northwest Arizona game. And kind of a strange game as Valley Center just jumped on Cesar Dominguez right out of the gate. And Dominguez, though, really got into a groove, and the bats got going for Northwest Arizona. They scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 6th, and they have now knocked out 13 hits on the day, and they've outscored Valley Center 5-2, and they've out-hit the Mud Daubers, 13-8. There have been 2 Northwest Arizona errors, but they've got a 3-run lead as we get set for the bottom of the 9th inning. Braden Eckhout will start it off for Valley Center, then back to the top of the order, Buddy Johnson and Brandon Bena. So they've got some guys up there capable of doing some damage, and some who have today, but they'll need to string some hits together or base runners to overcome a 3-run deficit as we start the 9th inning. West Chase, Texas and Jasper, Indiana at 1:30 will be the second game of the day. Todd Hook will have that one for you. The Express of West Chase, Texas and the Reds of Jasper, Indiana. First things first, though, the bottom of the 9th inning here, Brady Eckhout will step in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's grounded out and singled. And the first pitch to Eckhout here, lined into the gap, right center field. This is trouble. Down, it's going to roll for a long time. And all the way to the fence, this will be a triple for Eckhout. Rounding second, he will stand at third. And that's just the way Valley Center wanted to start this inning. Our third triple of the game, and all of them to that very location. Right center field on balls that scooted to the fence. 2 of them have been hit by Northwest Arizona. That's the first triple for Valley Center. So Buddy Johnson steps up with a runner at third and nobody out. Miguel Figueroa is from Tucson, as are a handful of his teammates for Northwest Arizona. Runner at third. And the pitch to Johnson, low and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Johnson started the bottom of the first inning with a double. He also singled in the 5th inning. So he's got a couple of hits today, and he's also walked. So he's been aboard in 3 of his 4 plate appearances. And the pitch bounced foul over towards third. And the count to Johnson is 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnson also scored in the first inning after his single, after his double, driven home on Brandon Bena's RBI single. Bena waits on deck. So this is the very top of the Valley Center order. 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. Low and away for a ball. It's 2-1. The triple by Braden Eckhout, the 9th hit of the game for Valley Center. 13 base hits for Northwest Arizona. Valley Center will need more. Down by 3, bottom of the 9th. The pitch to Johnson. High bouncing ball over toward third. Runner's got to stay, and a throw to first in time. Boy, that could not have worked out any better for Northwest Arizona, because Northwest Arizona did not bring the infield in. And they get a ground ball, and still the run doesn't score. Northwest Arizona was willing to give up the run. They had their infield playing back up by 3. And with the infield playing back, because that one was right up the third baseline, they still got the put out without a run coming home. So Eckhout stays at third, 1 out, and now here's Brandon Bena. And the infield playing back again. Pitch to Bena, taken low for a ball, 1-0. Bena's got a base hit in the game, but that was all the way back in the first inning. A third of Valley Center's hits came in the first inning. 3 in the first, they've gotten 6 since then. As the 1-0 is low and away. Good stop behind the plate by Brock Amanis. Sliding to his right and keeping that one in front of him and keeping Eckhout down at third base. Now Brock Amanis wants to come out and talk to his pitcher. Brock Amanis is out on the mound, so is Manny Ramirez, the shortstop. And now those two heading back to their respective positions. Brock Amanis behind the plate and Ramirez out to short. Brandon Bena also reached on an error in the third inning, came around to score. 2 balls, no strikes, and he slices one to right field, moving over to his left, Valenzuela. He'll make the catch. The runner will tag, but that's the second out of the inning. So a run scores. It's now a 5-3 ball game, but Valley Center is down to their final out. So here's Zach Baxley now, who will step up, needing to start another rally for Valley Center, as they still need to get the on-deck batter Clayton Hale up to the plate to get the tying run aboard. The tying run up to the plate. First pitch to Hale is outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Baxley is having a nice day. He's 3 for 4 with 3 singles. His third inning single was an RBI. He's only out, a ground out to second base in the 6th inning as he fouls this one back to the screen. So the count is even at 1-1. Been a pretty quick game as we started right around 10:30, and game just a little bit more than 2 hours old. Valley Center hoping to extend this one a little bit longer, though, down to their final out. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch outside edge for a strike. Baxley did not like that. I think he thought that was outside. So the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the Mud Daubers down to their final strike now. Figueroa through the stretch with nobody on delivers this one way outside. And that'll even things up now at 2-2. So Northwest Arizona trying to start off the 83rd NBC World Series, their first ever appearance here with a win, and they're 1 strike away. Figueroa ready, and the 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3. And the count's now full at 3-2. So the count is full, 3-2, nobody on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning, Valley Center needs 2 to tie, down to their final strike of the game. Figueroa through the stretch. Gets the sign and delivers the 3-2 high and away, ball 4. And down to first base goes Baxley, and the tying run will come to the plate in Clayton Hale.
They can save for you each month. Visit WichitaFCU.com for details. How about anything cleanup hitter? Right fielder number 4, Clayton Hale. Your cleanup hitter is brought to you by OxyFresh Carpet Cleaning.
Well, this is what Valley Center was hoping for, at least a chance to get the tying run aboard. They've got it now, Clayton Hale. The right fielder steps up, and a home run will tie the score with a runner at first. The pitch to Hale, swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. Hale is hitless today in 4 plate appearances. He reached base in the 6th inning on an error by Luis Valenzuela, the second baseman, on a fairly routine ground ball to him. And the pitch, and that one misses for a ball. So the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Carson Arnsberry has that double to right field. He's on deck, so chance here still for Valley Center. Mud Daubers hanging by a thread with 2 outs, but the tying run at the plate. Here's the pitch, big swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. So Valley Center again, once again, down to their final strike. Through this stretch, Figueroa gets the sign and delivers, and this one low and in for a ball. So the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Baxley, the runner at first, not being held on. He was picked off earlier in the game, not going anywhere, though, with 2 outs. They need a couple of runs with 2 outs. And here comes the pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Hale is down, and down goes Valley Center as Northwest Arizona, in their first game of the NBC World Series, comes away with a 5-3 win. They started off in a 1-0 hole, but their bats got going. A couple of 2-run innings in the 3rd and the 6th, added 1 in the 7th, and they come away with the 5-3 win. Cesar Dominguez gets the win. Alex Defoe takes the loss as Northwest Arizona, a 5-3 winner in their opening round action of the NBC World Series. So that'll do it for now. West Chase, Texas, the Express of West Chase, and the Jasper, Indiana Reds will play. First pitch at 1:30 from right here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Once again, our final score, Northwest Arizona 5 and Valley Center 3 Todd Hook will be along for the 1:30 game for now. I'm Steve Strain, though, saying so long and good afternoon from Wichita.